Hello, it's Jang here with another Mega Bloks Halo set. This is the UNSC Cobra Clash, the second set that they've made with a Cobra from Halo Wars, and this one also includes a Covenant turret that goes with one of the Covenant bases. Now I actually have a confession to make here. I no longer have that original previous Cobra set to compare this to directly. It was 3 years ago, and I turned the thing into parts because I just wasn't that happy with it on display. It didn't look that great to me, and it was also kind of flimsy. And that was late 2013. It was just when they were beginning their transition to the modern era of parts quality, which is significantly better. It's still not ideal, but the parts, when they come out of the molds the way they're supposed to, are much shinier, they fit together better, the clutch power is so much more consistent than it used to be. There's more friction in the joints, more consistent friction in the joints, so the whole thing just doesn't feel flimsy like the old one did. And you can go back and look at my review of the old one, which is still available on my channel, and you'll see, just as I touch the thing, how things move. Now this does still have kind of a suspension action in the front, which is loose by design, but it's nothing is falling apart there. Because of what this is, of course, it has to have its two modes. That was very key to the design of the thing in game. So I will go and do what I did the first time I reviewed one of these things, and try to go through the transformation into lockdown mode in real time. Bring the outriggers down. That's just so much more firm than it used to be on the old one. Bring those out. These are down, kind of like anchors in the front. These flaps come up here, and then there's this one that comes down here, and the wheels, the rear wheels, actually fold under. This is an interesting way everything goes together here, so it actually kind of stands up in the back, like so. And then you can pull these things out, which are additional outriggers. They actually do have to be pulled out. It doesn't just transform itself over. And I don't remember which of these goes on which side. I think it goes like this. There's just a separate place where you can place that and kind of get it lined up there. And on the other side, the same thing happens. You put this up in there. Yep, real time. No cuts here. Knocking on wood. Okay, there. Yeah, that actually worked pretty well. And you can bring these out on the sides, and the barrel, they just kind of have a sort of a transformative feature. You just have to do it by hand here. You have to take the barrels off and just move the two inward, and it's supposed to represent the single shot, the single larger barrel that becomes active, and there you go. And then you can still rotate the main turret around. It's still not able to go up and down. There's no elevation control on this, unfortunately, but rotates around. And there's a nice level of detail on this. This is still the old pieces from the old one that were designed to have lights that get transmitted from a light and sound unit. This one does not have lights and sounds, and I don't miss the lights and sounds because it really didn't even work that well on the original. This thing still looks awkward to me in this mode, but it sure does go together much better than the old one. I'm much more satisfied with it. And like I said, just from the feel of things and how things are staying together, this is something that is worth for me to actually keep together and to keep on display. Single figure will fit into the cab. I'll just make a little room for that. Cab opens up here, and that actually has a seat inside of it, and you just have to kind of push the legs together. There's no printed console or anything there, nothing for the person really to see. Just leaves a little gap, so that represents the window there, and that pretty much takes care of the features of the Cobra. The previous set had a Covenant turret, but it wasn't this kind of turret. This is the first time that they've done one of these, and I think it is just a glorious thing. I love this so much. I like this so much better than the Cobra, even though it isn't the main build. It just looks so good and just feels like it's taken right out of the game to me. This makes me wish that they would have a whole series of just buildings, modular buildings that could be put together to create bases. You just buy one unit at a time, but I know that that just can't happen. Just the economics of it aren't there. But I can certainly wish, and at least we can get a piece of such a thing here with this. The build is good. It's pretty solid, even though the thing is, the whole upper part is just balancing on the thinnest little platform there in the center, but it is strong enough. These are printed on the sides. There's also a print on the front of this thing. It was a joy to put together, and you can rotate it around. The scale feels pretty good to me. The size, the looks from every angle. Let me just show you the scale relatively to an Elite. It just seems right to me. I like this. I have nothing bad to say about this. Absolutely nothing bad to say about it. And I've tried. I've looked for something to complain about. There isn't anything. It's that good to me. Figure-wise, left to right here is another female Copperhead, a Marine, and then just minor Elite and Grunt, or Storm Elite. The Copperhead is in a turquoise color, which I think is still a pretty desirable color out there for the sake of collection, but this does show that they still have the slight difference in hue between the resins used to make turquoise for the softer head, which is more of a rubbery material, versus the armor. The armor is a little bit more greenish. It's subtle, but noticeable. A lot of light gray, very light gray on the Marine there, including the sniper rifle, which is done in just purely light gray. It's not white, and it's not an Arctic camo. It's just all a solid color. Almost looks like a prototype or something. It's interesting. Saw over here just in black. That saw mold is starting to look old, actually. I remember when it first came out, I was really excited about it, but feels like the mold's getting worn out or something, or maybe it's just my perception. The Elite has the newer mold of Energy Sword, of course, and the newer mold of Plasma Pistol for the Grunt. And these root beer brown colors over here aren't the old root beer browns. They're based on the same, but they have a lot more gold metallic flake in them. Just looks even more interesting to me, and more cool, and more regal almost. I've always liked the root beer brown, but I think this was a good decision to add more flake to it. At least it looks like it to me. It just shines more, looks more metallic. Progress. That's what I have to say about this set. This shows progress with the figures, of course, but mostly with part quality. You know, the main build here is missing the lights and sounds of the original one, but this, just the major difference is that this one I actually want to keep together, and I'm not worried if I have to move it around a bit. I'm not worried about it. It just feels like something that's higher quality, because it is higher quality. And that turret, yeah, I want lots of that turret, and I want all the other stuff to connect with it as well. Wishful thinking, I know, but it is at least good what we did get here. So I am satisfied, and I'm looking forward to what you think about the set. Share your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.